Hello, everyone. So, this is the third, session of the King's Landing campaign, and for once we have more than one person. So, welcome. So, we left off with Blue going to the town hall and talking to the mayor about contact tracing and hoping that it would work. And a guard actually went out to the, message board, and went out to the message board and put up a notice that people should voluntarily quarantine if they have been exposed to someone with the night death. So hopefully that will work. And with that, what do you want to do? Look at the cat and Nomi. So there's currently, Bulletin. Having trouble with words, yes. Currently there's still quite a few people milling around. Hide in the woods. Okay, so you're just gonna leave town and hide in the woods until further notice? Okay, and then Nuclear Overlord. I'm not sure what your PC name is yet, so if you could give me that. But what do you want to do while Blue is running away from all of humanity? Finally get off the boat. You are not on a boat. You are just in the town. If I can remember, I lost the sheet, so I cannot remember what your character name is for the life of me. I wrote down, but I can't remember. Yeah, you've just been, around the city for the past several days. Look for people who are being not so eco-friendly. Okay, roll a perception check. Nixash, that was it. Just a perception check for anybody being non-eco-friendly. The chat latency. I'm not going to get used to that for a while. If I can change my thing. Yep. Nat 20. Okay, so you see just this nice little, elven lady litter. You find kind of the same type, Blue, you find the same type of, healing berries you found, in session 1. You find some more of those. And then, Nick's just, there's someone who littered. Obviously. Blue, no salad stuff this time. No. So you just go up to this random person and just shout, "How dare you litter! Mother Nature is to be valued, you heathen!" And she just looks very confused. So this lady's just standing there, just very perplexed with why someone is screaming at her. Okay. Since kindly is in quotes, I'm going to have you roll intimidation. You're just like, can you please pick up what you have just thrown on the street? 19. She just quickly like picks it up and then like runs off, trying to get far, far away from you. Okay, Blue, you can roll nature for that. You just nod and continue on with your duties of protecting the environment. Okay, so you find kind of, Blue, you find a similar set of, like, greens. Just kind of, like, normal salad greens plants. Normal person food. Rather than magical health berries? Why would you distrust the magical health berries? So yeah, so you find kind of a set of normal stuff. Sure, you can forage for another hour if you want, just another nature check. You do know that there are fields to kind of like slightly south of the city. If you want to go there and try and like glean some crops, you can do that. Okay, so Nyx is just going to like run into the woods. Are you going to look for magical health berries or are you going to look for Blue? Okay, so most of the crops are not like fully grown, but you get a little bit from the fields that is like mature grain. Okay, so roll just a straight perception check then. Nyx. And Blue, you get like 1 day's worth of food. The true nature's bounty is the friends we made along the way. Absolutely. $12. So you find some magical healing berries. You find about 7 of them. Blue is a naturally occurring being. So you find about like 7 of the magical healing berries, but Blue is being a bit too generally sneaky for you to find. Huzzah for berries. Absolutely. Berries are huzzah worthy. Okay, setting traps. Not sure what that would be. I guess sleight of hand. We'll go with that. To set a trap. For game or for people? It'd still be a sleight of hand regardless. That's just me being curious. Okay. So you're gonna go around just looking for anyone who can't have people. Okay, so Blue difference is basically just like the size of the trap, kind of, and I'm just curious. People, okay. So Ash is going through the forest, just looking for traps. So, looking for perception, and then Blue is trying to set a trap in order to catch people who would be looking for traps. So okay, so Blue, you set up a trap, and then a while later you hear someone walking through the woods, and you hear your trap spring. And you go over to your trap, and caught is Nyx. Curses. So Nyx is just screaming up a storm about being trapped in in this contraption that you created. And then as and it's just saying, like, hey, let me down. I am part of nature, please. And Blue, you do not know who Nyx is. You just have someone who is caught in your trap and cursing up a storm. And then as for Magpie, who just popped up, you are in the city and there's some commotion going on in a place that you're not sure about because you're kind of a ways away. But you can kind of tell that most of the people in the city seem to be gossiping about some weirdos just running off into the woods. Oh, things are breaking. Okay, so as Magpie's going to go wherever, Blue, you are just interrogating Nyx. And Nyx offers you the health berries, but you already have them because you were in the forest basically looking for the same thing. Roll persuasion and then an insight contest, I guess. So, Blue, insight, Nyx, persuasion. And Nyx, you can get advantage if you offer something else. And Blue is threatening to just leave with you caught in a trap. Not looking good for Nyx. Okay. So I'm just going to assume that Magpie is like slowly moving towards the forest and all the miscellaneous commotion. I have literally nothing else. Deception check. Or deception/persuasion check. Because I guess technically that could be true. Yeah, like an intuition saving throw. Or insight, yeah. Wait. Yeah, insight, not intuition. So yeah, Nyx, Blue. And it's not a lie. Okay, so Blue, you're getting vibes that it's not totally truthful, but also that Nyx doesn't really have much of value to you. For 18 for what? Oh, for the insight. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. That's fine. Same result. And then yes, Magpie, what's your PC name again? I don't know if you're playing the same character as earlier. But okay, so Nyx is desperately bargaining with Blue to just like hey, like I'm of value, please. Okay, why can I not spell in my notes? My goodness. Okay, so, back to where we were. So yeah, Blue and Nyx are still arguing, and then you see a tiefling kind of just kind of following the path and very confused. And interrogating you. And Blue promptly runs away. So, just at the first sign of danger, Blue darts. Nyx is still caught in a trap, and now Marmot has, like, become aware of all of this nonsense. Okay, next that's a deception check. As you are currently caught in a trap. And then blue, roll stealth. Okay, and then, sorry, Marmot, roll, not insight. Okay, so blue is just hidden off in the brush somewhere. But that's okay. So, it's between Nyx and Marmot. Nyx has somehow been relatively convincing that they're not currently stuck in a trap. Marmot, what do you want to do? Yeah, so you are convinced. and Nyx just is like flailing around and just saying like, I am doing aerobic activity. And Marmot is just like, that seems legit. So oh, I'm sorry, Blue. Carry on. Okay, Blue's back. Yay. So Nyx apathetically offers berries that are no longer in their ownership. Blue, you hid pretty well. They have not found you. Mostly because they're still arguing amongst themselves. And Marmot is just like, ah. This is very upsetting. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a persuasion or something. Was the Airfell who ran away? Because I will avenge your berries. Okay, so they're conversing about avenging berries. Blue, so I want to go set more person traps. Okay, yeah, just go with sleight of hand. Sleight of hand check. So you can't say I'm blue. And Marmot is continually going off on Blue actually being blue, and therefore is looking for something or someone blue. Okay, roll a perception check to see if you find... Wait, with disadvantage, because blue is not blue. So roll a perception check with disadvantage to see if you can find blue. And, okay, 17 for the trap. And I totally remember what blue originally got as a roll for hiding. I want to say that was 17, I think. Okay, wait, hold on. Okay, wait, gonna go hide. Okay, I can't find it. But I'm just gonna say, sorry if this is wrong, that Nyx does find blue setting a trap, but not the same trap that was already set. And Marmot just is looking for anything blue and finds kind of like a shiny shell just laying on the ground. So a shell in the woods. No, Nyx actually found you. Return my berries. Okay, so Marmot is going to interrogate a shell, and Nyx is actually interrogating the guilty party. And Blue says no. They belong to Blue, not to Nyx anymore. And Marmot is still interrogating his shell. So you're just screaming at this shell to return the berries! And then Blue runs. Wait. And Nyx is now crying in the middle of the woods. Okay, so you see a kind of shadowy figure just yeet. So roll a perception check to see if you have any hope of catching her. And then you roll a stealth check to hide. Wait, how to deal with, oh, because... So Marmot, you just happen upon a crying Nyx, just, like, bawling over losing the berries. And just with a very kind of, like, questioning, like, they're there. And you have no clue where Blue went as well. So you are distracted by the crying individual before you. Insta, and then just as soon as you're just like they're there, like just Nyx just like pops up of like I am fine now. Psychiatry. We must gain more berries. So are you guys just gonna go off in the woods looking for berries? If so, then roll perception check, or nature check, actually. Okay, and Blue's just moving deeper into the woods to find a good spot to camp. Okay, 11 nature. So yeah, you two are just going off looking for more berries. And Blue is gonna just calmly eat a salad at their hidden camp. Smart plan. Okay, so Marmot, you find 15 berries, and Nyx, you find 8. And Blue is not going to light a fire tonight, duly noted. So, Nyx and Marmot have found magic Healy berries, which they give you 1 temporary hit point until the, not the next long rest, but the one after that. So that's how those work. And then what is everybody gonna do next? Will I gasp? Yeah, and you two just kind of like ended up like back at the same spot because there's only like one real spot that has such berries. And so Nyx just kind of like turns and just like, hey, like, what is your name, traveler? As like theatrically as possible, just I am Marmot, scourge of the land. And then just equal, an appreciator of berries, and an equally aggressive and theatrical, just fantastic, I am Nixash, bounty of the land. And thus you two have become acquainted. A fellow appreciator of berries. Okay, yeah, you ended up pretty close to the field, so I'm just gonna say, for the sake of simplicity, that Blue, you get another day's worth of grain. And you can kind of faintly hear in the distance just aggressive greetings between Marmot and Nyx. Glorious friendship! Why does that just make me think of the glorious purpose thing? I conclude I should stay away from them. Okay, so Blue just makes an internal note of like, stay far away from this nonsense. As Nyx and Marmot are just deciding they're going to do great things. And are going to camp in the woods to find more berries. And Blue just wants to hunt monsters. What if the real monsters are the friends we found along the way, Blue? Consider berry profits. Not deal with a weird thing. Berry stonks. I mean, fair that you don't want to deal with a weird plague. Fair. So, yeah, what's everybody gonna do next? Find more berries. Okay, well, that's just another nature check, but with advantage since you already know where you found the first set. And Blue is just gonna go to sleep early. Natural 19. So you find 7 more magic fancy berries. Okay, Blue's gonna take a short rest. And then, Marmot, you find 2 berries and a very interesting snail. Two total naps. Okay, yeah. Snail. Okay, so Nyx, you just hear Marmot screaming about a snail. And his name is Jerry. Snail. He'll be my minion who will assist me with the demise of this realm. Okay then. Blue, you perception check to look for any bird's nest. And yeah, Marmot is just screaming about a snail. You mean the recovery of this realm? What a fine creature. Absolutely. So you, Blue, kind of up pretty high in the tree canopy. You see a kind of bundle of sticks that looks like it might be a nest of a rather large bird. Also, why can I not read these? That's weird. I have 2 pending messages from, weird. Oh, the ... Oh, yeah. Okay, so Sorry, that took me a moment to figure out what was going on. So, Marmot, you're just like, oh, yeah, sure, totally trying to save this realm. And you get a very concerned, skeptical look from Nyx. And just a kind of like laughing it off of like, ah, yes, humor. Blue, since you rolled so well on the first one, you can tell that it's like a large bird native to the area, kind of similar to like a hawk. And Marva is just like, ah, yes, I am very humorous, but like, and and Nyx is just like, what is your definition of saving the realm? With just increasing levels of concern. And like, and Marva is just like, so you two are just skeptically kind of like, what kind of shaky alliance have we made here? And Nyx is pretty convinced that Marmot is some level of crazy. And Marmot just kind of like points to just kind of like, I don't know what saving the realm is. This nonsense. And Nyx is just like, who are you talking about? Is it a great force such as nature itself? Why do I have a feeling that Marmot's just gonna point at Jerry? dot dot dot. And just Marmot completely changes the subject. Just, I sure do love berries. Let's get more. And Nyx is just utterly distracted by that. And yes, Blue, I can see why you would be skeptical about the practicality of this as a method of doing a campaign period. I cast enhance ability for us to find berries better. Right, I don't know quite how that works. Hold on a second. Give me just a moment. Oh, okay, yeah, advantage. Yeah, roll with advantage then. And it's starting to get to like early or later afternoon. So yeah, you can roll with advantage to find berries. So still a nature check. Though it's getting more difficult because you've already found the like easier berries to find. The low-hanging fruit, so to say. And you guys are just working on magically finding berries. Okay, yeah, Nyx, you find 8 more, and Marmot, you do not find any more. you find a couple leaves. Then I must find the high-hanging fruit. And you see Marmot is very distracted by leaves. So at this point, it's early evening and it's starting to get dark. Yeah, they could be edible to snails. Snails aren't particularly picky. Okay, so you just like put Jerry on top of one of the leaves. As Nyx just starts chanting, "Feed the king! Feed the king! Feast upon the flesh of the plants! Grow stronger! Grow wise!" And powerful. Grow wise and powerful. So you two are just chanting over Jerry. To restore the land. And Blue, you just hear these crazy people chanting about a king that needs to feast upon the flesh of plants and grow strong, wise, and powerful. And Marmot is just yelling at the air that the very stranger shall not understand the power of Jerry. So yeah, you two have a snail and a lot of berries. And it is now like pretty much night, so it's quite dark out. I conclude magicness. Either magicness or craziness is why Marmot is screaming about someone who isn't there. And Blue now runs away from the crazy people in the woods to go to town, as it's night and everyone's kind of heading back home, especially because of the night death. Not many people are out to begin with. So yeah, the streets are relatively empty. And Blue just goes up to a random bench and sleeps there. And then we still have Nyx and Marmot, presumably chanting in the dark of the woods. Jerry is but a vessel to carry out malicious deeds. I am concerned. So so Nyx and Marmot, it's like night at this point. You can choose whether or not you want to sleep, but if you don't, you will gain a level of exhaustion. I must chase away a woodpecker. Wait, sorry, that crossed into real life for a second, because one of my other friends has a really annoying woodpecker and she doesn't know what to do with it. IRL, do all of us have problems with woodpeckers? Because, like, we have one that just does not leave the house alone. I presume. Nah, I like the idea of just if you're chasing a woodpecker in real life, then in game you're also chasing a woodpecker. Nyx has a woodpecker problem. Your Nyx has a woodpecker problem, or Nuclear Overlord has a woodpecker problem. Who it is, we will never know. Meta woodpeckers. It's like metagaming pigeons. Metagaming woodpeckers. Just yeah. So is Marmot gonna go to sleep? Much birds, much things. The disadvantage of sitting right in front of a window. Okay, so Marmot is sleeping in the middle of the woods. Blue is sleeping on a bench in town. And Nyx is gone for the moment. Okay, so Blue, since you took 2 short rests during the day, that makes sense. So you wake up early, and you're in town, and you decide to go back to the woods and just kind of like sit in a tree and pay attention to the strange people, both of which who are just like passed out on the ground. The woodpecker has been vanquished. The vanquishing of the woodpecker. So yeah, and then Blue, I'm gonna have you roll a stealth check. Since you're not on a time crunch, I won't make you roll a dex to get into the tree. And you're just sitting there, and you're strongly considering just like dropping a torch, because like no one would know. How would they know? So yeah, you're hidden up in a tree. Not sure how well you're hidden. So okay, you're pretty well hidden up in a tree. And with that, Marmot and Nyx are waking up just in the middle of the woods. Their tentative alliance still probably intact. No one would know. True, it would make getting out of the tree very difficult. And Nyx and Marmot just wake up and are just instantly like, our alliance is strong. Like, we didn't kill each other in the night. Very strong alliance. As strong as the berries. Absolutely, a very strong alliance. As the squishy berries. Wait. And as you realize, you have technically made an allegory of your alliance being very weak. Okay, so you're just randomly like mashing up the berries instead of eating them whole, and then however many you eat, that's how many hit points you get. And you're basically acting like a dude bro with like pre-workout. just like, let's go. Everything has devolved into berries. Okay, Marmot gives Jerry a good morning kiss, and I'm going to have you roll a Constitution saving throw. Okay, both of you roll a Constitution saving throw then. Very constitutional. Okay, Marmot, you suffer 1 point of poison damage. And Nyx, you suffer 2 points of poison damage. Wow. And you're just kind of like, maybe don't do that. And you're just screaming at the snail like, Jerry, are you poisonous? Good thing these berries are keeping me healthy. This is splendid. And yes, the berries are very, very much superfood. Blue, you didn't take damage, so you can't quite interpret if the snail is poisonous. Though you definitely know that kissing a random snail is a bad idea. But also, like, you heard someone screaming about the snail being poisonous. You're like, maybe it is poisonous. And Nyx is just theorizing about small dosages of poison can make someone less vulnerable. and so Marmot is giving Jerry more leaves and just kind of looking for random leaves. And it's just like, yes, immunity. And okay, so Blue, if you want to go look for a similar snail, then you'd need to get out of the tree and roll a nature check. Praises holy snailness, the incarnate of nature. And if you want to, in order to leave the tree, that's going to be a stealth check. Actually, just a straight dex check. Just Jerry. Okay, so Blue resolves to stay in the tree for the time being as these maniacs are dancing around with a snail. And just pulls out a book and just quietly starts reading. As these two, they're starting to like make a circle and just like they gently place Jerry on the ground. Surround Jerry with leaves. Start dancing. Roll performance. And then the blue shell will be a sacrifice. Oh no, are you gonna sacrifice Jerry? Okay. So you're like making plants bloom, like it's absolutely beautiful. Marmot trips. But like Nyx is like doing okay. Like sacrifices for Jerry. The blue shell is a sacrifice too, Jerry. Yes, precisely. And as you're doing this nonsense dance, it starts to gently rain. I smell a non-believer. Huzzah! And then blue, if you want to get out of the tree at this time, you get advantage in stealth because it's kind of obscured by some rain and some light fog. His snailness has summoned rain! There's something I was going to write down and I completely forgot it. Oh, the rain is an omen of great darkness. and then Nyx just kind of like corrects that, like, of great life, but absolutely. So yeah, you're kind of just arguing a little bit over what the rain is an omen of. Yeah, like darkness and life, same general concept. And Nyx once again dismisses the concerning behavior of Marmot. So across this nonsense, Blue is smart, maybe. Okay, Blue. I'll say yes, you can conclude that they're Warlock and Druid. And what is your question about an item? Oh, so, no, oh, yes, yeah, what, yeah, you have that much, which is a couple, like, doses worth. As for Nyx and Marmot, you see a black cat cross your path. Marmot concept. Sketches. An omen of bad luck. Perhaps it is. Blue, are you going to take a dose right now or not? Like, are you trying to participate in? You can certainly try. Blue taking drugs. Are you going to try and like sprinkle it on the people below you? Okay, so you sprinkle this fungus that you're vaguely aware of the effects of on the maniacs below you, and it's straight up top of these. So no. So you sprinkle this on the people below you, and Nyx and Marmot, I'm gonna need you to make a Constitution saving throw. And yeah, I mean, people probably already think you're crazy for being able to talk to, like, beasts and plants. And just talking to a snail. Okay, Nyx, you are seeing lots of pretty colors, but aside from that, nothing much. And then Marmot, I still need your saving throw. Okay, so you are seeing a lot of like pretty colors, and you're just like, oh, this is very nice. And you're gonna take a disadvantage on perception checks for the next hour. And you two are both just kind of just very, like, even just happier with Jerry than normal. And the cat no longer feels like an omen of bad luck. Oh yeah, and like snails don't really have very expressive faces, but Jerry also seems to be vibing. So, yeah, and you hear this voice, just not from anywhere in particular, of like, yes, I am with you. And then, okay, so Blue sneaks out the tree. They're very distracted, so I will just give that to you. Tell the trees. So, so Marmot is just like dancing like an idiot, and Nyx is just vibing with the trees. And as you're vibing with the trees, a giant branch just breaks off and falls a few feet away from you. As Marmot does not notice this and continues to do the Macarena. Okay, so Nyx just attempts to dive under the tree branch, and you take 8 bludgeoning damage. And you're now prone. And Marmot is aware of this, but just thinks you're vibing. The most good of dances. So you're like doing the worm, but you're like kind of still under a tree branch a little bit, so it's very awkward. But you're just vibing. And then as for Blue, you do see a grouping of what looks to be the same type of snail as Jerry, but they're not necessarily magical. So you can go with a perception check to look for magical things. You approach. So there's like three of these snails. And the idiot squad is still dancing. Okay, any particular method you're using to kidnap the poison snails? then we just have Nyx just... Intention versus reality. Okay, so Blue, you just kind of, like, herd the snails into a jar. Like, it takes a while because they're snails. But you now have 3 slightly mysterious, probably poisonous snails. I guess, yeah, you have gloves, so, yeah. Yeah, and then Nyx and Marmot, you're still doing whatever nonsense you're doing. And Blue, you're now +3 mystery poison snails. And then, yeah, just a perception check for magical creatures. Okay, so Nyx thinks they sense a disturbance in something, but it could just be all the shiny colorful colors. Blue, you find a really old tree that seems older than a tree should be. And so it's a kind of magical tree, but it's kind of lame magic. So Nyx is convinced that someone has done something to Jerry's family. So you can perception around to see if Jerry even has a family. Blue, it's basically just a really old tree that has some sort of, like, anti-aging magical essence. And the idiot squad is ranting and raving that Jerry's family has been stolen. Even though they're unaware of Jerry having a family. So you can roll a perception check to see if you happen to see someone in the act of kidnapping snails. Okay, you just see shiny colors. Blue, there's kind of like the same river that you saw a while ago, so you can go over there and you can fish there. Yes, you do have use for your fishing net. And Nyx is just like, never mind, Jerry's family is safe colors! Yep, and Blue's gonna go fish. So nature check to see how well you fish. Yeah, just a nature check. Most of these are nature. Chat latency. And then as for Nyx and Marmot, what are you guys doing? Okay, Blue, you catch a lot of fish. Probably like 3 days of food worth of fish. Okay, so Marmot is saying that they should go into town and see where they are because they have no idea. And Nyx kind of agrees reluctantly and says that they must preach the good word of Jerry. So you guys go into town. Blue, I'm assuming you're staying hidden away in the forest. Okay, and you're gonna preserve the fish. Smart plan. Nyx, you were not there. So you are just talking into thin air, and Marmot is confused. And you're still just looking at pretty colors. And Marmot is incredibly confused. And Nyx is talking about visions. And Blue is just kind of giggling to herself that those two are incredibly high and are acting even weirder than they normally would. Probably. Either that or they're just that weird. You have no vision. You guys are in different areas, so you are no longer fully aware of each other. Jerry is communing. Yeah, you are absolutely positive that Jerry is communing with you. So, at this point, whatever was affecting you with shiny colors has mostly worn off, and Jerry is no longer trying to commune with you. But maybe Jerry's just getting really quiet. The snails are just kind of normal snails. They're just slightly poisonous. Mostly to prevent them from being eaten by birds all the time, but not all that special. They're occasionally used for blue dyes. You can attempt to extract the poison. Roll medicine. And Marmot is just screaming about Jerry! Blue dye. Oh no! No, it's... I don't like... You used the correct dyes, though. You spelled it right. Foreshadowing. We all die someday. So, Blue, you have kind of, like, crushed up one of the snails. It's truly tragic. But you do have a vial of poison now. That does 1d8 damage if ingested, and 1d4 damage if, like, touched. I'll be very careful about not turning my hands blue, but we'll kill the snails. Okay, so are you gonna kill all the snails? Okay, so you... so you repeat the process, and 3 vials, 1d8 ingested, or 1d4 if touched. And, Marmot, I would say you didn't really get a good view of Blue as she ran away. But just kind of like a dark green blob, basically. Which is moving. And Nyx, you're just positive that, like, Jerry's last words to you were like, "Save me." And you just hear, like, millions of voices just all stop along with the shiny colors. My sister is screaming. I don't know if you can hear it over the microphone. Her friends are over right now. Jerry, no! Nature's not in balance. Yep. I have no clue what's going on. Going on beyond my door. Jerry is not okay. Jerry's just a snail. Like, Jerry just kind of looks like Jerry looks like he's vibing, but okay, so you just get like real close to Jerry, and you're just like, "Are you okay, Jerry?" And you're just like lightly like tapping the shell, just oh Jerry. And like Nyx is just like, Mara! You just respond like, what? Swoosh. Okay, so Blue is, well, once again, leaving town after disassembling. Wait. Leave town through. Okay, so you get your traps back. And are you going anywhere in particular, or just like back to the woods to set up camp somewhere away from the idiot squad, or what? Okay, another town via the woods. Okay, there is not really another well-established town on the island. There is kind of like a little farming village to the south, so you could go over there, but it's not nearly as established as King's Landing. And aside from that, the island is pretty sparse. So yeah, Nyx and Marma are still mourning the loss of Jerry or Jerry's friends or Jerry's family. Yeah, true. So Blue, the tiny little farming village might be perfect for you. It's like it's just established enough that there are like some people there and some shops. Protect Jerry. Marmot has now decided their sole purpose in life is to protect Jerry. Protect Jerry from things such as green boars. Okay, Blue, you're going through a bunch of fields, so you get 2 days worth of grain on your way to this small little town. And yeah, that's most of a good chunk of your day traveling there. Aside from so Marwa's just kind of mumbling about other purposes than protecting Jerry. Yeah, Blue is just vibing. So Nixon, Marmot, you're like at King's Landing, and there are some people kind of milling around, though not as many as you would expect for a city of this size. And there doesn't seem to be anyone particularly competent in restoring balance to the world. Definitely involving the world. Any eco terrorists, like litterers. Nix, you do not see any littering. It seems that word may have gotten around from the poor lady you terrorized. The true evil is a littering. Okay, so you just scream out, just, "Hear me, townspeople!" Just like, hear ye! I catch another of you littering! Which is the true evil. You know, some people call my master evil, but those litterers are the true evil. It shall be your body littering the streets. Okay, Blue, duly noted. Wait, hold on. Just, I'm like, Nyx is slightly concerned with Marmot. Just what the drug said. And you just both start chanting like down with the litterers. And you've gathered a small crowd of people that are seemingly very concerned with your behavior. And there's this dwarven gentleman that kind of like goes up to you and is like, absolutely. Blue's stop spirit. Do not be afraid. Guess what? Anymore. Okay, so you just summon this dwarven man up to speak his truth, and he just starts spouting absolute nonsense. Like he's just like, absolutely, like the plague is a lie, and everyone and everything is trying to kill me. And Marmot just says to join your cause. So roll a persuasion check, but Nyx can assist. So roll with advantage. Speak your truth. Slay King. So yeah, persuade him to join your cause. Marmot, roll with advantage. With advantage. Yeah, he's on board. And, like, before you know it, he's just talking about how, like, all the kingdoms are secretly at war. And how all of the gods hate him. And, like, everyone in the town kind of just thinks he's a bit crazy. Blue's just gonna get some mail. It's just like, they're crazy people. So, as Marmot is continually screaming about brave souls that want to show the truth of the world, a group of towns guards seem very concerned by your behavior in the city. So there's about 5 guards approaching you, which is probably all they have for all of King's Landing. And with this, Nyx is like summoning the dwarven dude, who is like already like drawing a dagger. And you're still trying to convince this dude to speak about littering. And he's just like, fine, like don't litter. But he's really just like kind of getting ready for a fight and just happy that there are people who will listen to him for once. The town's guard. Slay the litterers with bladness. Okay, you kick the dwarven dude, like, just away from you. There's not really a stage. But yeah, and he seems quite irritated, and now you're beating up a random dude in the street. And so with that, roll initiative. Stage of truth. So roll initiative because you started a fight. That's right. So I don't want to lose my notes, but I need an iron sheet paper. Point of view, you're the dwarf. Okay, okay, so, Marmot, what's your roll? 4. Okay, so, guard. Okay, that's not good. So, you're going to find out very quickly if the guards are in the fight. So, first thing that's gonna happen is the dwarven dude, like, just kind of gets away from you as quickly as possible. And one of the guards tries to grapple Nyx, which is not very good. That's a 10. So yeah, just a strength check. And then another one of the guards is going to attempt to grapple Marmot, which is also terrible, which is another 10. And Blue is just kind of looking for deer unbeknownst to all of this. Yeah, so Nyx and Marmot, I need your strength check rolls, and then it will be Nyx first. Okay, Nyx avoids being grappled, and so you can make your turn, and then Marmot, I still need your roll. You also avoid being grappled, so both of you are stronger than the guards were expecting and can make a full turn. Okay, yeah, you definitely do not get grappled. So both of you get a full turn, first Nyx, then Marmot. There are 5 guards involved in what they thought was going to be a simple civil disturbance issue. So what are you gonna do? Okay, okay, so Nyx is going to wild shape into a cat, which, is that a full action? I don't know. And just yeet. So, yeah, the guards don't know where you went. They're just very concerned. Then, very concerned that one of these people just disappeared. Entangle laser. I am not as familiar with my spells as I should be. How does that work? Okay, stream saving return. Okay, got it. The guards fail. So the guards are now restrained by the plants. And Marmot, you're in the area, so I'm going to need you to make a strength check. Haha, taste my nature powers. 18, so you are not restrained by the plants, but it is difficult terrain. What a strong character. So, Marmot, what is your action? Okay, so you're just going to run off, and since you are not disguised as a cat, the guards are going to give chase and run away. And one of them is going to throw a spear at you. And man, I just cannot roll. Okay, so that's 11, which I'm guessing does not hit. So yeah, I'm assuming that your AC is higher than 11. No, it hits. Okay, that is an oof. Rip. So you take 8 damage. Warlock AC go burr. Okay, so now we are back to Nyx, and then Marmot can prepare their action. Wait, are you seriously making death saving throws already? It starts on level 3. At level 3? AC for casters is correct. I didn't think it was... Wait, no! First level is 8 plus your constitution modifier. I'm not level 3. You are level 3. Sorry, I put that in the first video, so you should have more hit points than that, I'm pretty sure. Okay, yeah. This is not supposed to be a TPK encounter. Yeah, repulse. Okay, well, we will just head over to Nyx, and you can take your next action. So you're currently wild shaped into a cat and have yeeted away, but are kind of being chased by the guards. Okay, and you're just sitting on a rooftop. And now we're back to Marmot, who needs to fix their AC. Wrong tab. Hold on. Okay. I'm actually at 11. That still seems really, really garbage HP, but okay. Anyway, so, you can take an action. Not dead. Better than dead. I thought the hit dice was like a D8 though. Okay, so you dash, and the guards are not going to give chase because this is above their pay grade to deal with two crazy people that are no longer causing a public disturbance, kind of. So they're just kind of waiting to make sure you don't come back. But you are no longer actively in combat. Are you saying that? Like, are you thinking that, or are you saying that? Blue, you find evidence that deer were nearby, but you do not see any deer. So, with having nearly evaded the... Okay, so they were going to leave Marmot alone and had no idea where Nyx had gone, but with that, yeah, that makes sense. That's what I assumed. Sorry. So with a few choice actions from Marmot, two of the guards decide to throw a spear. That one does not hit. That one also does not hit. You got lucky. So you're still in combat. So you can choose to run or fight or try and somehow talk your way out of this. Okay, so Nyx is just doing like little like cat like foot taps. And Marmot is going to dash further and disappears from the view of the guards. So Blue, you do find a deer that's just kind of like grazing in a little like field. It has not been spooked yet. And Nyx and Marmot have managed to narrowly escape. And the guards kind of go back to their regular posts. It is Blue. It is a female deer. It's kind of like late summer. This is where I'm probably going to end up shooting myself in the foot because you know more about animals in real life than I do. So like August. No, I haven't. Yeah, you do not know if it has a fawn or not. I'll say for the sake of efficiency and me not knowing things in real life that this deer does not have a baby. I guess no deer. Okay, so you can set some small animal traps, but I'm not sure if you heard what I said before you put that because chat latency. Um, yep, just sleight of hand for setting traps. Okay, so they're not particularly well-made traps, but they're traps that you have set. And that is where we are going to end it for today, with the Idiot Squad having narrowly escaped the guards and Blue having set a couple traps, both for human and animal. Hope you enjoyed. Bye.